This boy could live an extra 100 years every time he died. At first, he was just a divine ball dropped into the mortal world, with the ability to mimic anything. When he landed, he touched a stone, so he copied its form. That's how he spent 500 years, until an injured white wolf collapsed in front of him. After the wolf died, he copied its form, gaining his first consciousness. At first, he could barely walk. The wounds he copied from the wolf's legs hurt like hell in the cold wind, but soon the wounds started to heal. He gradually learned to walk, not knowing how long he wandered in the snow. He finally saw a light in the endless darkness. It was the only house left in the snowfield. The white-haired boy was ecstatic when he saw him, rushing over to hug him tightly. Turns out the boy was the dead wolf's owner. The boy brought him into the warm little house, even cooked him a bowl of fish soup, but everything around was strange to him. He didn't even know how to eat. To keep warm, the boy tied them together and fell asleep before the fire went out. The next day, the boy was talking to himself while chopping wood. Everyone in the village had left for a far-off paradise, where it was said to be prosperous with flowers blooming all year round. Unlike this land always covered in ice and snow, in the paradise, there was no worry about food or clothing, and lots of things called fruits. The boy also longed for the paradise, but he was left behind to care for the elderly who couldn't move. Everyone promised to come back for him after finding the paradise, but years passed. The elderly had all passed away, leaving the boy alone, and the villagers never returned. As the boy was feeling down, the village wind chime suddenly rang. Could it be that everyone had come back? The boy rushed home, full of hope, to the door. But the house was empty. The boy's hope was dashed again, yet he still forced to smile. How many times had this happened in his lonely days? The boy shared the tastiest fish head with the white wolf, then hung the rest of the fish to dry as provisions. To save fuel, the rest of the fish had to be eaten raw. He asked the white wolf how the food tasted. The boy, used to solitude, didn't notice the wolf talking, and continued his monologue. To not forget things, the boy had drawn pictures of the villagers on the walls. After deep thought, the boy decided to set out with the white wolf to find the paradise the next day. This was his first time traveling so far. His grandfather had said the paradise was to the south. After walking for a day and night, he finally found markers left by the villagers, which made him even more certain the paradise was ahead. Though he was getting further away, food was running out, and the snow had frostbitten his hands and cheeks. The boy's heart was still full of faith. As he continued forward, he accidentally fell into an icy river. When he climbed out, he was soaked through, but the boy said he was fine. Only the white wolf looked worried, as pain shot through his leg. The boy then noticed he had injured his thigh. In the harsh cold, he was already numb from the frostbite, but even so, the boy kept an optimistic attitude, reassuring the white wolf it was just a small injury. The next day, he continued the journey with the white wolf to find the paradise, but the snow got heavier each day. His body grew weaker. The untreated wound worsened, swelling and getting infected. The white wolf was worried, but the boy wouldn't give up. Not knowing how long he walked, he found another marker, but unlike before, this one was crossed out, and not far away were traces of a cart. At that moment, the boy realized the villagers who went to find the paradise didn't abandon him. They had all died on the way. The boy couldn't accept such a harsh reality and finally shed tears. The white wolf watched him with concern. At that moment, the boy's faith completely crumbled. Without the paradise, there was no hope. The boy was forced to accept reality, dragging his exhausted body back home. Soon the infected wound caused a high fever. The pus-soaked bedsheets. The boy could only lie weakly on the bed, with little food left. That night, the boy couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed on the floor. The white wolf, hearing the noise, tried to wake him. The boy, enduring intense pain, struggled to climb onto a chair. Knowing his time was short, he wanted to maintain his last bit of dignity. He asked the white wolf to remember him, then took his last breath. After an unknown time, the boy's body slid off the chair. The white wolf tried to pull him, realizing the cheerful boy would never smile back at him again. The white wolf understood what death really was for the first time. The next second, triggered by the shock, the white wolf transformed into the boy's form. Before leaving, he placed the boy back on the chair. To fulfill the boy's dream, he decided to continue the search for the paradise, just like the boy had. He kept walking south, without human knowledge or the need to eat. He soon starved to death, but death to him was just a change in state. He died once, twice, 3 times, dying and reviving again and again. After dying and reviving 7 times, he finally made it from the cold north to the paradise the boy had spoken of. From then on, he would live on in the world in place of the boy.